Welcome to Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi, Ekekwe. A conversation today will focus on the African web business and why it's very critical for anyone that runs any of these businesses to have an offline strategy. It is based on this premise that business is still not necessarily online, and we still have a huge component in the non-digital spaces. So if you just take this plot here that shows the revenue of Amazon and the revenue of Walmart, you can still see that Walmart is still huge, despite the fact that we keep hearing how Amazon is redesigning the world. Of course, it doesn't mean that we just have to fold our hands and just say you can't do anything in the digital space, because it's very evident that the future of commerce is going to move online. But today, that is not the case. It has not fully moved, but it's transitioning to online, and Walmart can show you data that it has the capacity to continue to earn a lot of money even as it's moving. So, but if you come down to Nigeria, back to the African side, you see that most things are still done in the non-digital space. Konga, I will call it the biggest focused e-commerce company here in Nigeria, has less than 200,000 active users in a country of 190 million people. That is actually not necessarily a good number. And if you take, let's say we have about 100 million adults, people that can actually purchase things, people that participate in the retail consumer market, that you have 200,000 people. It simply means that those people have not come into the e-commerce space. And just a few days ago, I wrote that Uber Africa has about 1.8 million riders. And in Nigeria, we have roughly about 270,000 active riders. I mean, this is still a small number when you look at the total population of a country. So these are all digital spaces. And if you look at the total money spent, the total consumer spending, the digital space is less than 5%. In short, the government records has it at less than 1%. So technically, the wealth is still off, is still outside the digital space. That is to say that the people that are buying things are not necessarily buying things in the digital space. I have put this 5% because I know most Nigerians are shopping online using Mall for Africa, shopping online, going to Amazon, going to Macy's, JCPenney, and maybe we could say using PayPal at the end of the day, that money is huge. But the fact is this, it's still a round figure, just an error. And you are not spending a lot of money in the digital space. We are always confused about how many Nigerians that are on Facebook, Twitter. Those things are things that happen because the scalable advantages of these companies, I have stated many times, tends towards one. It's a marginal costing. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up to Facebook. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up to Twitter. And that you have signed up does not necessarily mean that you can translate that ease to actually buying things. So you have a marginal advantage of one as Facebook. You sign up, there is nothing to worry about. But when you want to go to Konga to buy things, there are now more alternatives how you can actually buy that particular item. So translating 20 million users in Facebook to e-commerce operation may not necessarily be very fair. So in a way, this 20 million or whatever the number is today is totally uncorrelated to what you are seeing here. It's irrelevant. In short, you don't have to pay so much attention to it because the marginal cost of this business Facebook runs is totally zero. But here, there are now frictions in the elements of business because you have to pay for it. The services are no more free, and how Nigerians being onboarded into that particular area of the digital world. So the key thing here is money is still mainly offline. That is where the customers are today. And of course, you can tell me that Linda EKG makes money blogging, InterSwitch makes money blogging. But if you look at their businesses, I'm not aware that you can just go to Linda EKG today and say, okay, I'm going to pay for an advertisement. But you see, they still have a strategy where, in as much as they are building digital businesses they have a very solid offline operation. InterSwitch has sales team. They visit companies, they market government, they move around the cities looking for opportunities that they have to onboard right from the physical space into the online space. So it's not like they just have this website called InterSwitch Group or whatever, and you just sit down and think that money will start coming. They have a sales operation. They spend a lot of effort making sure that they use their capacities in the physical space to transition it to the online space. And that's also what happens in blogs. They make effort to see how are we going to talk to the right people? How are we going to cover that physical wedding? How are we going to bring that conversation that happened in the physical space into the online space? So in a way, if you just lose the track that we still have a lot of things being done in the physical space, you are going to have a lot of problems. And I've stated here many times ago that even if you look at Jobberman, the pioneer online recruitment company, Jobberman has to advertise in the print newspaper like Guardian to tell people about the opportunities which are available in its digital space. In other words, a company that is trying to bring people to come and apply for jobs online has to now go to a print newspaper to tell people that we have jobs online. It tells you that he understands that the customers are still offline. So my message today is this. You must have an offline growth strategy for your web business in Nigeria and indeed Africa, because money is still offline. And if you think you can just focus exclusively online and make money, it's going to take a while. And I do believe that so many things have to happen. Internet penetration, high level of literacy, logistical issues have to be solved, and all that kinds of things have to be taken into consideration before you scale this. It's going to take a while. And if you can endure waiting for that to happen, that's good. But if you can build your digital business, which is going to be the business of the future, then still find a way to serve the customers of today, I think you are going to have a very great moment. You are listening to Tekedia Daily.